Hey guys, so I was going to do this problem in the last video, but Khan Academy didn't like the way that I simplified it. So I'm going to do it again in a different way, and actually a simpler way. So it's probably a good thing that it turned out this way. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to do this problem now. So if you notice that the last video just kind of cuts off, that's why, because I ended up editing out a whole section where I was doing this problem that ended up not working because Khan Academy didn't like the way that I simplified. So there we go. So I'm going to rewrite the problem so that I have it just bigger. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to factor out the greatest common factor. So we've done that before. We had a whole worksheet on greatest common factor. So again, we're looking for what do these things have in common. And hopefully we can see that they all have a -5 in common. So they have a -5 in common. So I can factor that out. And they have an h squared in common. So I can factor out an h squared as well. So my next step is going to look like -5h squared times something. And to figure out my something, I'm just going to divide everything by -5h squared. Okay. So I have -5h squared times something. So -5 divided by -5 is just 1. H to the 4th divided by h squared is h squared, right? I'm subtracting my exponents. 4 minus 2 is 2. So I get h squared. So I have 1 h squared. So I don't have to write the 1. So just h squared. And then I have -15 divided by -5 is +3. So I have +3. And then h cubed divided by h squared, 3 minus 2 is 1. So that's just h to the 1, but you don't have to write the 1. And then we have -10 divided by -5 is +2. So I have +2. And then h squared divided by h squared is just 1, right? Everything cancels. So we just times 1. So I don't have to write that either. So it's just 2. And so this is what I have after I've factored out that greatest common factor. So now I can just factor this bit. Okay, so now this is not even quadratic methods. This is just a quadratic, right? I'm just looking for something that multiplies to 2, that adds to 3. So multiplies to 2, adds to 3. Well, that's 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2 multiplies to 2 and adds to 3. It's kind of the only factors of 2 anyway. So that's pretty straightforward. So we just have -5h squared. And then we have h plus 1, h plus 2 would be how you would write that. So we factored out the greatest common factor. That was the first step. And then we took what we had left and factored that. So we kind of just ignored this for the time being and factored that. But this is still a part of our answer. So we have to write it. It's not a part of the factoring that we're doing here. So when we're figuring out what the factored form of this is, we don't have to worry about this part. It's just sort of along for the ride at this point. So I'm just gonna type that in here. And Khan Academy liked that one. So in what would have been in the last video, but I'm editing it out because it was long and Khan Academy didn't like it anyway. I had the same thing but in a different form, and Khan Academy did not like it. So we're not doing that. We're doing this, getting it nice and easy in the form that it needs to be in. So That's how that works. All right, so let's look. This is the same form as the first question, so I'm not going to do this one. Hopefully this video helps, and I will see you guys later.